You are Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST, powered by Mile High Sports, part of Locked On Sports Denver on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
It is your Locked On Nuggets podcast. My mic muted itself. Wow, we were off to a shaky start here tonight, aren't we? Check. All right, let's start this over for the third time. 3, 2, 1. Welcome on into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Excuse me, there a little technical difficulty to get us started here on this Festivus. Why does my mic keep unplugging? Sorry, folks. Hold on. It's plugged in. All right, there we go. We should be good to go now. Why don't we just get into the show? Let's get into the meat of it. But I am your host, Aniello Piro. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. Hope everybody is doing well out there tonight. I know Denver Nuggets fans are surely doing well out there as they bludgeon the Phoenix Suns for your final score here tonight, 117-90. Denver holding the Phoenix Suns to just 11 points. I almost said 4 points. Close, but 11 points total tonight for the Phoenix Suns in the fourth quarter as defense reigns supreme for the Denver Nuggets, who figure out ways to win these games in the most unconventional way, man. I mean, I didn't do the show last night. I was out of pocket, but I was keeping tabs on the game, and they got by New Orleans 132-129 there in overtime. And then, New Orleans, worst team in the Western Conference, and then they followed up tonight with a pretty good performance. Not just a pretty good performance, a great performance against the Phoenix Suns, holding them to under 100 points. Again, your final score tonight, 117-90. You absolutely love to see that. But guys, real quick, tonight's episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. The NFL playoffs are almost here, but it's not too late to get in on the regular season action with FanDuel, because right now new customers can finish the season strong with $250 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. I believe their last promotion was $150 in bonus bets, so now it's up to $250. Season of giving from our friends over at FanDuel. But man, where to start tonight? Well, obviously, Michael Porter Jr. had himself a night. Aaron Gordon doing some good stuff. Jalen Pickett, a signature game for Jalen Pickett off of the bench. And he had himself a night tonight, folks. Look, I think we all kind of know what Jalen Pickett, I'll save a lot of these thoughts here for the second half of the show. We know what Jalen Pickett's going to be, right? Like over the course of his over the course of his career, at least with this Denver Nuggets team. And games like tonight, they're looking. All right, I'm going to just go off of my mic or my camera audio because my mic keeps disconnecting, and that is annoying me. Let's try it one more time. Sorry, folks. Bear with me here tonight. I don't know why the microphone wants to keep disconnecting on me. If it disconnects one more time, I'm just going to go straight off the laptop, which will work because I'm in an empty house. Technical issues. So no mic. We'll go free form. Let me know if I sound okay in the comment section, guys. Apologies. I don't know what's going on with my cable here tonight. But the Denver Nuggets, man, like I said, we'll talk a little Jalen Pickett here in the third segment as well, because I thought tonight was definitely a signature moment, a signature game for J Pick, which you love to see. But Michael Porter Jr., man, I mean, he came out early in this game, rolling after struggling against New Orleans. He finishes tonight with 24 points. He was a plus 22 in the box plus minus, 2 of 4 from 3, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. These are the stat lines you want to see from a guy like Michael Porter Jr. on a game in and game out basis. That's what you need from a guy like MPJ. I get on Michael Porter Jr. a lot, just because one, he's a max contract player, but two, when especially when Jamal's been a bit in and out, right? I mean, he didn't play tonight, banged up with the ankle injury once again. And that's where you need a guy like Michael Porter Jr. to be able to step up and shoulder the load there for you a little bit. And that's exactly what he did here tonight, because Nikola Jokic, he hasn't been playing bad per se. I mean, he had a great game tonight, 30 plus points, but like he hasn't had to completely take over these games. And I don't want to get too worked up over this win here tonight. It's going to be very interesting to see how Denver responds now, being able to play them once again here on Christmas, this time in Phoenix. 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time tip-off for that game. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Denver ends up responding in that matchup. But in regards to tonight's game, man, you just love what you saw across the board from the buy-in with this Denver Nuggets team. And I was watching the post-game show. I went ahead and paused this so I could read it to you. Denver is now 5-0. 5-0 this season, which makes no sense. It's against all likelihood. They're 5-0 in the second night of a back-to-back this year, which is just absolutely incredible, with an average win margin of 22.5 points, a little bit higher, 22.6 points. But October the 29th at the Nets, second night of back-to-back, they won that by 5. That was very early in the year. They had a second night of back-to-back against Utah where they blew them out, 26-point win margin there. The 23rd against the Lakers not so long ago, 25-point win margin. December 8th against the Hawks, that was the game after that abysmal performance against the Washington Wizards. They beat them by 30, and now they follow that up with their 5th win on the second night of a back-to-back. Again, 5-0 so far this year, which is just absolutely improbable for this Denver Nuggets team, with a 27-point thumping over the Phoenix Suns. A thumping. I mean, they shot the lights out in this game, man. They really did, and they bought it on defense. And, like, that's where it gets so frustrating with this Denver Nuggets team, because you see this against Phoenix, right? You see this against the Lakers. We saw this against the Thunder in the second time when they played this year. And you're kind of wondering, like, where is this against Washington? Where is this against New Orleans? Where is this against Portland? Like, it's so weird, the discrepancy, with this Denver Nuggets team. They could have easily lost that game against Sacramento as well. And, you're just kind of sitting here wondering what it's going to take for the version of the Denver Nuggets that we saw tonight. What is it going to take for them to play like this on a game in and game out basis? You're allowed some hiccups, right? You're allowed some bumps in the road, but it's just been too inconsistent for anybody to sit back and be like, you know what? I think this team can contend in the West. I think this team can go on a run and try to win a title. And that's why you're seeing these Michael Porter Jr. trade discussions. I've got some other thoughts about that. I saw a good tweet from my guy, Jeff Morton, earlier today. I think that kind of summarizes all of this, especially because we've got some reports now coming out of Chicago about what they may or may not be interested in doing in a potential swap for some players. So stick tuned for that. We'll close the show with some trade thoughts here as well. But for tonight, man, you've got to be happy with the performance. They hold Phoenix to under 100 points, only 90 points on the evening for them. And Phoenix in their own right is a bit of an up and down team. I think we're all expecting Phoenix to be a lot better just because of the talent that they have around them. But no Devin Booker tonight for Phoenix. He was out, but you still had Kevin Durant out there. You still had Bradley Beal out there. Both of those guys got theirs, but for the most part, Denver did an excellent job at nullifying just about everybody else. But, man, again, you're wondering what is it going to take for this team to play like this on a consistent basis? Is it sweating out a game against New Orleans? Is that the difference, right? Did that help them kind of flip the switch here a little bit? We got a comment here. Dare I say the Nuggets are better without Jamal? ? That is a very interesting question, isn't it? And I don't think the answer is yes. I think especially when Jamal Murray's on, you got good contributions out of Russell Westbrook tonight, good contributions out of Jalen Pickett, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic, of course. You're going to be better with Jamal Murray out there on the court. I don't think there's any ifs, ands, or buts about that. The question is, what is up with Jamal? Because the body language doesn't look good. I actually saw some highlights. It may have been on one of the games during a highlight package. Like, he just doesn't look as springy, if that makes sense. He doesn't look as energized when he is out there. Maybe it's just some lingering injuries. Maybe there's something going on with the mental. Maybe it's a combination of the two. But when Jamal Murray is on, the Nuggets are on as well. And obviously that was not the case here tonight as they win in spite of not having Jamal Murray, which I think is also a good sign for the rest of the team and the continuity. But again, I think that's the frustrating part with this Denver Nuggets team is you see their ability to go out there and perform well. They've done it without Jamal Murray in a handful of games this year as he's been banged up with injuries. But, like, what is it going to take for them to do this on a consistent basis? That is the $1 million question. I'm not sure what happened to Ryan Saunders. I'm not sure. If anybody sees that, let me know. But, man, it is one of – let me see if I can find something on that for you real quick. What a performance tonight, though, for the Denver Nuggets as they get the job done, man. Just, again, when they're a defense-first team, it's one of those situations where when they lock in on defense and they're switching and they're playing, they have the Hall of Fame clamps on and everybody's doing their thing, man. They're a tough team to beat. The question comes down to consistency, and we're hopefully going to get some answers to that sooner rather than later. But for tonight, man, my first point in the headline, 4 players in double digits for Denver on offense, including Russell Westbrook. Christian Brown didn't do much scoring tonight, but you don't really have to rely on Christian Brown for scoring when everything else is firing on all cylinders. When Michael Porter Jr. is hitting threes, when Jokic continues to hit threes, when Aaron Gordon hits some threes as well. So you absolutely love to see that, and you also love to see the contributions that you got from a couple of guys off the bench here tonight. So let me hit my first break. We'll come back. Let's continue along with the conversation, folks. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and let those rip in the comments section. We'll go back and forth and have a good time here on this Festivus edition of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Stick with me, folks. Hold on. They changed my background on me. Where is my little ad thing? Okay, there it is. Stick with me, folks. We'll be back in just a moment right here on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Back in just a moment. All right, new sponsor to the show. Let me tell you about our friends over at Skylight Frames, guys, because I know the season of giving is here, but you're still going to want to hear about our friends over at Skylight. Missing someone this holiday season and want them to be a part of your festivities from afar? Do your loved ones live far away, but you wish they could all be close to you? Maybe gift giving isn't your love language. You overthink it and wind up with something disappointing or nothing at all. Are you buying for someone who has everything or just seems, unpleased all the time? Are you tired of wasting money on useless clutter that nobody really needs? Well, guys, let me tell you about our friends over at Skylight Frame. We've got the perfect gift for you. Skylight Frame is the touchscreen digital photo frame your whole family will love. Upload thousands of photos with your phone and watch them appear in seconds. It is so easy to use. Setup takes less than 60 seconds, and they have seamless sharing where you can invite friends and family to easily share photos via the free Skylight mobile app or email. No account or subscription is required. But guys, add new photos straight from your phone from anywhere. It only takes a tap on your phone to send new photos to a frame across the country. It is the fastest, easiest way to keep loved ones in the loop. They'll feel so much more connected to you. And the touchscreen, it is an absolute game changer, guys. Swipe through photos, tap to see new photos sent, tap the heart button to say thank you to the sender as well. It looks beautiful in your home. Photos are displayed in HD resolution, and you can choose from 5 different frame styles, set it up in portrait or landscape mode. There's 2 sizes to choose from, the original 10-inch or the larger 15-inch gallery frame. They look perfect in any room, and they can stand on their own, or you can easily mount them to a wall. It's better than social media. It's great, a private way to share photos without posting it to the world or having to print and store hard copies. Gift mode makes it very meaningful, personalized gift. You can preload it with memories without opening the box. Surprise them with old sentimental photos as soon as you are plugged in, and satisfaction guaranteed. They're so confident that you'll love Skylight that will offer free 120-day return policy, and it is top brand rated. Over 1 million happy customers, thousands of 5-star reviews, and available in over 30 countries, recommended by the Today Show, Forbes, New York Mag, and more. And now, as a special limited time offer for our listeners, get $20 off your first purchase at Skylight Frame when you go to skylightframe.com/NBA. That's Skylight, SKYLIGHTFRAME.com/NBA. Get $20 off your purchase now at skylightframe.com/NBA. Be sure to check them out, guys, and let them know that Locked On Nuggets sent you. Okay, welcome on back into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I am your host, Aniello Piro. I had a technical little hiccup there. My microphone, I don't know what's going on with this dongle thing that I used to plug into my laptop, but the show must go on. Thankfully, I'm in a quiet house here, getting ready to celebrate Christmas. So hope everybody is doing well out there as, the Christmas and the holiday season is upon us. So happy holidays to you and yours out there. You can follow me on social media at Media by AP. And do me a favor, hit this like button, smash that subscribe button. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. But, man, let's take a look at some of these numbers tonight here for the Nuggets starters. Impressive across the board for the most part. I mean, every single player. They were not, I don't think Denver was actually down in this game at all. Everyone in the positive in the box plus minus tonight for Denver. We'll start out with Aaron Gordon. He had 12 points. He was a +9 in assists, couple of rebounds. But most importantly for AG, the cherry on the top with AG, when you get the defense, is his 3-point shooting, man. He was 2 of 3 from beyond the arc tonight. He's been shooting the ball a lot better this year from 3 than he has been in years past. You'll love to see that. But Michael Porter Jr. He was the standout tonight from the starting group. 24 points from MPJ, a plus 22 in the box plus minus, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 of 4 from 3, 10 of 12 from the field. That is what you want to see from a guy like Michael Porter Jr. And you could say he's boosting his trade stock. I saw Michael Malone kind of debunk that before the game, saying he doesn't think that's going to happen. We'll see what road Denver ends up going down. Like I said, we'll kind of close the show with some thoughts on the trade discussion as well. But if you can get that from a consistent basis with Michael Porter Jr., that will outshine the struggles of Jamal Murray. And I know that Jamal did not play tonight, but that has been the problem is when you give Jamal Murray that max contract extension, you're expecting him to be playoff Jamal on a relatively game in and game out basis. That's, just not the case, at least so far this year, right? So plenty of basketball left to play. But Denver needs a legitimate number 2 if they're going to do this thing. And Michael Porter Jr., if he can play like he did tonight, with confidence, with defense, with rebounding, with shooting, Denver's going to be a tough team to beat on any given night. That's just the reality of the situation here tonight, folks. And so, again, what's going to happen in the next game against Phoenix? Is Michael Porter Jr. going to crawl back up into a hole and score 7 points and grab 3 or 4 boards and a couple of assists? And then it's like, you don't see him in the clutch. You don't see him late. I don't know. We'll find out. That's what I think is so intriguing about this schedule, especially on national TV too. There's a lot of people, and I know it's the last game on Christmas night, so those East Coasters are probably going to be snoozing, but there's a lot of people, Nuggets Nation and NBA fans aside, that are trying to figure out what this Denver Nuggets team can be. And a convincing victory in the second game in a row against the same opponent in the Phoenix Suns, with Michael Porter Jr. doing his thing and Jokic doing his thing and getting some contributions off the bench and Aaron Gordon hitting threes, breeds a little bit of confidence in the overall direction of this of the organization here right now. So shout out to MPJ, man. 30 minutes tonight, played again, 2 of 4 from 3, 10 of 12 from the field. Good defense. You absolutely love to see that. So hopefully that keeps it up. We got a comment here. Glad MPJ had a great game after all the trade talk. Still hesitant about letting him go. He's such a cheat code when he's locked in. I agree. I'm keeping him unless we can get rid of Zeke Naji too. I would agree with that. I'll save some of my kind of closing thoughts there on the trade situation. But I agree. The reality situation is this too, folks. The reason if Michael Porter Jr. gets traded, he will get traded because of the Jamal Murray contract. If Jamal had the same contract as Michael Porter Jr. right now, dollars and cents wise, I think you'd see Denver try to get off Jamal more than you would see MPJ, to be honest with you. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know if that's right or wrong. But I agree that when Michael Porter Jr. is just locked in, dialed in, dude, it takes this team up to a whole nother level. When he's spamming the 3-point line and he's got that smile and he's playing with confidence and he's moving the ball around, man, that is the Michael Porter Jr. that you want to see on a game in and game out basis. But, c'est la vie, I suppose. But Nikola Jokic, not too shabby, 32 points tonight for the Joker, 7 assists. How about this? Only 2 rebounds for Nikola Jokic. Not very often you see Jokic get limited in the rebound department. But he did tonight. But Jalen Pickett more than made up for that for sure. But real quick, the rest of the starters, Russell Westbrook finishes tonight with 11 points. He had 7 assists, 5 rebounds himself, a couple of steals as well. I've said it again. I really love the way that Russell Westbrook is fitting into this team. They've got plenty of problems, and he is not one of them, to be completely honest with you. So shout out to Russ tonight, stepping in place of Jamal Murray, giving them 25 solid minutes tonight in that starter role. And Christian Brown, rounded it out. But again, 4 starters tonight in double digits with scoring. Gordon, Porter, Jokic, Westbrook. Love to see that. CB has 4 points of his own, but he did grab 7 boards, 4 assists. So he was, moving and shaking out there on the court as well. So you love to see that. Overall good production tonight from Denver starting 5. But let's talk a little Jalen Pickett here, shall we? And my guy Ryan Blackburn has an interview with Jalen Pickett from the start of his rookie year. So it's a little bit dated now, but some good insight into the player that is Jalen Pickett, his mindset, all that good stuff. You can go ahead and check that out on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel. But a career game for Jalen Pickett. Only 11 points, but it's a lot for him. He was a plus 17 off the bench. He had an incredible kind of like it wasn't like a 360 shot, but just, going up against the corner, drains that thing. What a shot from Jalen Pickett. He finishes tonight 3 of 8 from 3. You love to see that. 8 assists for Jalen Pickett and 3 rebounds for Jalen Pickett. How crazy is this? Jalen Pickett finished with more assists and more rebounds than Nikola Jokic did tonight. Let me say that again. Jalen Pickett finished with more assists and more rebounds than Nikola Jokic did tonight. It was one of those games tonight for the Denver Nuggets. But, man, if they can get anything out of Jalen Pickett, anything in a positive sense, that's a win. Because last year he was borderline unplayable. So far this year he's been unplayable in spurts. But tonight is a Jalen Pickett night. Tonight is a night to be satisfied with what you saw from Jalen Pickett on the hardwood. So shout out to him, man. He's still trying to find his way in the league, and he had a great game tonight for the Denver Nuggets off the bench. Hunter Tyson had 6 points. I think they've got something in Tyson. I do. I think he can be a spot-up shooter in this league, specifically from beyond the arc. We saw him light it up in the Summer League a couple years ago, and I know it's Summer League, right? But he's got some talent. These guys need some run. That's where I kind of understand where Kevin Booth is coming from. So 6 points tonight for Tyson, 1 of 2 from 3. Nice to see him knock one down. Peyton Watson, 21 minutes, didn't do a lot in the scoring department, 4 points. He did grab 6 boards. You like to see that, and he had an assist as well. DeAndre Jordan, playing those veteran minutes as well. But across the board, man, tonight, the starters did a good job. The bench did a good enough job. And overall, the defense was on par. That's how you get to your 117-190 final score. All right, let me hit my final break, guys. When we come back, we'll talk a little trade, a couple of closing thoughts here from the game here tonight. So stick with me, drop some comments, let me know how you're feeling out there. We'll be right back here on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Back in just a moment, folks. All right, and let me tell you about our friends over at Built here real quick, guys, because today's episode of Locked On Nuggets is sponsored by Built Rewards. If you are a renter, listen up. This is a total game changer. Thanks to Built, you can now earn points on rent payments just like you do with groceries or travel. Paying rent now comes with serious perks and is completely free to join. Earn valuable Built points on your rent and everyday spending at no extra cost. Redeem points towards flights, hotel stays, and even future rent payments, with over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels in their program. The possibilities are endless. Access unique experiences that are exclusive to Built members. I love using my points for travel, and Built makes it so easy to turn rent into rewards. If you are already paying rent, why not make it work for you? Start earning points on your rent you're already paying by going to joinbuilt.com. That's BILT, joinbuilt.com/LockedOnNBA. That's joinbuilt.com/LockedOnNBA, and make sure to use our link so they know that we sent you. Don't wait. Start enjoying your rewards today with our friends over at Built. Check them out, guys, and let them know that Locked On Nuggets sent you. And let me also tell you about our friends over at FanDuel real quick, guys, because the NFL playoffs are almost here, but it's not too late to get in on the regular season action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers can finish the season strong with $250 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. FanDuel has so many ways for you to pick up a W. I love betting on which players will score a touchdown and how many points each team will score. It's thrilling. I actually hit a 7-leg anytime touchdown score parlay yesterday. Let's see. We had Scary Terry. We had Jamar Chase. We had Saquon Barkley. We had Kyron Williams. We had James Conner. We had Jahmyr Gibbs. And I'm forgetting who my 7th is now off the top of my head, but I turned $5 on a 145 yesterday on the FanDuel Sportsbook app, so you'll love to see that. Be sure to check out our friends over at FanDuel, guys, and take advantage of that promotion. One more time, visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your chance at $250 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Okay, welcome on back into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Hope everybody's doing well out there. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. Make sure to hit that like button and smack that subscribe button as well. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Also got Broncos and Buffs and Rockies when we get back to baseball season, so we'll have some fun there. But some closing thoughts here tonight, man. Great defense, great contribution across the board from the starters, and solid contribution from your bench. That was kind of the 3 big takeaways for me here tonight. And also on top of the fact that Denver responded, I know it was off a win, but that game against New Orleans was just disgusting. Like I said, I was unable to do a show last night, but kept tabs on the game. One of those situations where like you're kind of sitting there like, how is this even happening? So nice to see Denver get back out there tonight and put their foot on the gas. And like I started the show, Denver is now 5-0 in the second night of a back-to-back this season, folks. 5-0. They beat the Nets on the 29th, the Jazz on the 2nd of November, The Lakers on the 23rd of November. The Hawks on the 8th after that egregious Washington Wizards loss, which I could still not get over. And now tonight against the Phoenix Suns. But what's most important and what's most interesting about that factoid is Denver has an average win margin of 22.5% on the second night of a back-to-back. I just did the FanDuel read. You should be betting the Nuggets on the second night of back-to-back no matter what right now because they are just crushing it in that sense. So you'll love to see that. Hopefully that keeps up. But I said we talk a little trade. I think, and I got to give credit, I'm going to kind of paraphrase here, but my boy Jeff Morton had a thought that, how Denver was pretty much honed in on De'Ron Holmes. Like we all knew that De'Ron Holmes was going to be the guy that Denver was trying to draft. What did that end up costing them? Draft capital, right? And you're seeing all of these MPJ rumors and this and that. And I saw some reports out of Chicago that the Bulls aren't necessarily keen on taking back Zeke Naji in a deal. So what that tells me, just kind of reading between the lines here, is Denver is kind of putting out feelers. Calvin Booth is putting out feelers about this trade, that trade, this trade, that trade. So don't believe everything that you're reading here right now because I don't think it's going to be as easy as Michael Porter Jr., Zeke Naji, and a pick swap or two to get Zach LaVine in here. Not that I want Zach LaVine in here, to be honest with you. But it's going to be very interesting to see how Denver navigates the next month and a half-ish with the trade deadline coming up because they've got some moves to make. There's no question about that. No question about that. I would prefer to see them go after some depth pieces and keep this championship core intact. As you saw tonight, I know Jamal didn't play, but when you get Jokic, Gordon, and MPJ all firing on all cylinders, this team is tough to beat. They're tough to beat, man. And they actually got outshot by from three-point land tonight by a slim margin. I mean, they both shot essentially 39%. Denver was a flat 39%, 16 for 41. Phoenix was 13 for 33 for 39.4%. But where Denver really cleaned up tonight was in the rebounding department. They out-rebounded Phoenix 46-39, 35 assists to Phoenix's 23. 19 fast break points to Phoenix's 9. They dominated them in virtually every facet of this game. 50 points in the paint for 24 to Phoenix. So, I also think back to that Michael Porter Jr. quote that came out at the start of the year in that big think piece that Ramona Shelburne put out for ESPN, where Porter was on record saying, if we don't do it this year, it's probably going to get broken up. Well, based off how the year has gone so far, it might get broken up before the end of the year. And so if Michael Porter Jr. wants to stay at Denver Nugget, if Aaron Gordon's going to stay because he just signed an extension, and Jamal Murray's not going anywhere either. But if you want to keep this core intact, if you want to go for broke with this core once again, you need to win like you did tonight. And I understand that's a tall task. You can't win every game, but you can't be having these lollipop games to Washington and New Orleans and Portland, teams you should beat any given night, and then come back and throttle the Phoenix Suns. Because you know what that does? That sends mixed messages across the board. So tonight, I'll close with this. You're happy with the win. You're happy with the outcome. Do it again on Christmas night in their building. Now, would a marginal victory like they had tonight be incredible? Absolutely. But win the game. Go out there and win the game because now you know you can beat the Phoenix Suns. Not that we have many questions about that. I guess internal questions because of how they've been playing, but we've seen Denver beat Phoenix a lot in recent years. But go out there and do it again. Build momentum. Keep rolling. That's where we're at with this Denver Nuggets team. Just win, baby. Because the more you win, the less pressure that puts on the front office to make any drastic moves. The more you middle, the more you lose to subpar teams, the more it's going to force the hand of the front office. So we'll see. But for tonight, folks, the Denver Nuggets getting the job done, 117-190, your final score. Make sure to follow me on social at Media by AP. Appreciate y'all as always. And we'll see what happens. Christmas night, 8:30 p.m. tip. So we'll go live right around this time, 10:45-ish on Christmas night. But outside of that, man, I hope you all have a good and happy holiday season. If you're doing the Christmas Eve stuff tomorrow like I am, load up your plate, have a good time, and do it again on Christmas, folks. But at least you can wake up on this Christmas season feeling pretty good because the Denver Nuggets get the job done here tonight against the Phoenix Suns. Your final score, 117-90. But all right, folks, that is it for me. Appreciate y'all. As always, make sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button. You guys can also follow me on social media at Media by AP. Denver blows out Phoenix. Good defense, good shooting. Jalen Pickett game. You absolutely love to see it. Hopefully a repeat here in about 48 hours when they take on the Phoenix Suns on Christmas night. But that's it for me, folks. Enjoy your holiday season. We'll talk to you guys then. Have a good one.